Which conspiracy theory is so believable that it might be true? That your phone's microphone is constantly hot and it's listening for keywords to target advertising. Most glaring instance where this happened to me was when I walked into a colleague's office. He had just gotten a standing desk, but one that goes on top of his existing desk rather than a standalone, pun, model. That's important to note. I said nice standing desk, when did you get that? Thanks, just today, he replied. That was literally all that was said about the desk. We talked about work related stuff and as I walked out and checked my phone, there was an ad on Facebook for that exact model of standing desk. I have never owned one, wanted one, or googled one but that Natasha Jayat was murdered by the Catholic Church for exposing a pedophile ring. This is trending on Conspiracy and Out Off the Loop right now. Credits to Update for the summary. Natasha Jayat, a model TV journalist, exposed a pedophile ring on live Argentinian TV a few months ago, after following cases over the last few years. She had claimed that she would not commit suicide in April of 2018 while My conspiracy theory. Facebook purposely attempts to ruin people's relationships because the drama gets more views and more views sell more ads. Several years ago they introduced a feature so that your comments on other pages would show up in your friends' feeds. So if you're secretly an atheist and you comment on some atheist page, it shows up in your devout Southern Baptist grandma Muriel's timeline, even though it's a conversation that has nothing to do with her and there's no reason for it to be. As a result, Facebook outs you to your family, and grandma is typing away at all the evil Satanists trying to corrupt her grandson. And if you comment on a public post, it's unavoidable. You used to be able to control who could see your comments even on public posts by other pages, but at the same time Facebook introduced their tattletale feature, they took that ability away. Now if they were to stumble across the same page they'd be able to see your comment, but after that change, Facebook started pointing everybody you know directly to it. Not to mention, the privacy settings are difficult to find, difficult to understand, and with each passing year gives you less and less control over who sees what. By forcibly combining everybody's social circles, Facebook is trying to generate conflict. They want to generate conflicts because the conflict happens on Facebook, which means people logging onto Facebook more often and seeing more ads. They're essentially an internet tabloid except instead of showcasing the personal drama of celebrities for clicks and sales, they are doing it to you instead. Ever notice how the vast majority that there are hundreds of companies that operate tens of thousands of Reddit accounts each? They have been auto-rigging these accounts for years, use scripts to auto-post and comment and have humans that shift through all the accounts to make various comments to maintain these accounts. These companies have the ability to control and gain their way to the front of Reddit. Huge brands use them, special interest groups use them, political parties use them. It's not a conspiracy, it's a real thing. Miley Cyrus's crazy streak was all a carefully planned marketing scheme to get her solidified as an A-list celebrity. I believe it was done to make Disney completely cut ties with her and kill the image of Hannah Montana. It's worked too. Hannah Montana was quite possibly Disney's largest TV show ever, but I haven't seen anyone even mention it for over 4 years now, and despite Disney cashing in on old IPs, Aladdin, Kim Possible, Lion King etc., we have yet to even hear an unsubstantiated rumor regarding Hannah Montana. Dad, is that you? YouTube in a mobile browser is so garbage, so they can force you to use the app and not use an ad blocker. This is true for most mobile sites, this one included. Not only do they want to run their ads, they want the data that an app can get compared to a website. Reddit is almost completely unusable in the mobile browser unless you're just looking something up quickly. Some subreddits I've even gotten stuck with banners at the bottom saying to use the app where the button to exit doesn't even work, so you can only see like half the screen. Then there's the giant continue button and tiny part below it to go to the mobile site. Continue very obviously implies continue to the site you were trying to reach, not continue to a different app. The president of the Philippines, Duterte, is very anti-drugs to hide his own involvements with drug cartels off which he makes billions. Funny enough, he once told supporters that, if his own children were found to be dealing in drugs, they should be executed. Not long after, one of his children was found to be involved with a big shipment of cocaine, if I recall correctly, still alive. The Laurel Canyon Conspiracy. Basically, if you look at the counterculture revolutionaries and the music industry in the 60s, most of them were the children of military intelligence people. So the theory is that the free love, lots of drugs movement they inspired was done intentionally to distract the youth from a full-scale revolution. The thought was if the angry youth of the mid to late 60s were too high and getting laid all the time, they would stop caring as much about societal ills and then basically sleepwalk through the 70s, which they did. I stumbled upon this when I was reading up on Jim Morrison and how his father was the one who called in the fake strike at the Gulf of Tonkin that kicked off the Vietnam War, and which was shown later to have been a false flag. Turns out, a lot of his contemporaries were also children of highly placed military people with ties to intelligence. Strange that they all wound up in Laurel Canyon as part of the same movement. Don't have time to type it all out right now, but the entire situation surrounding the construction and operation of Denver International Airport is strange, even by non-conspiracist standards. Have fun in the rabbit hole. I did a short write-up about this a few years back. Here it is, read it if you want. Denver International Airport, secret bunker, giant cult shrine, and potential concentration camp. There are a lot of conspiracy theories revolving around the Denver airport. I'll try to touch on all the ones I know, but forgive me if I miss a few. There's no doubt that there are some odd things about the airport, from the delayed construction to the massive cost to the odd choice of decorations. Opening on the 28th of February, 1995. 16 months behind schedule and at double the cost of the original estimate. $4.80 billion. Denver International Airport is the largest airport in the US by total land area, 33,531 acres. Not long after it opened, wild conspiracy theories began floating around. One major theory is that there is a massive underground bunker that was built for the world's elite in the event of an apocalyptical event. Another is that there is a massive facility underneath that was built to be used as a concentration camp in the future. Some people believe that the reason for the delay in the schedule was due to the construction of said underground bunkers and tunnels. Supposedly, a construction worker claims that they buried 5 multi-story buildings underneath and built the airport on top of it. Aside from the construction theories, there's plenty of things inside the airport that are just plain odd. One thing mentioned often is the large Mustang statue, shown above, outside of the airport, nicknamed Blue Cipher, a large blue horse with red eyes that supposedly represents one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, death. Oddly enough, the architect who designed the piece was killed when the horse's head fell on him, severing major arteries and causing what proved to be fatal injuries. Another thing people find odd is a dedication stone inside the airport. One of the first things you notice is the large Freemason symbol in the middle of the stone. Another thing people point to is the date on the stone, the 19th of March, 1994, which if you add up the numbers 191994, you get 33, which is a significant number in the Freemasons, as I believe it is the highest level you can reach in the organization. The last odd thing about the dedication stone is that it says near the bottom New World Airport Commission contributors. People believe this is reference to the New World Order, which will supposedly be brought on by the Freemasons Illuminati. Also noted by conspiracy theorists are the 4 odd and slightly disturbing murals that are displayed in the airport. Some people believe these murals are packed with Freemason iconography and occult references and even are a telling of the future. TLDR, Denver Airport is a secret occult super bunker and has some really poor taste when it comes to decorations. The government experiments on the mentally insane because no one will believe someone with that kind of medical history. I feel like people overlook the fact that the government actually did experiments on Americans and fucked at least one of them up so bad that he moved to the middle of the woods and started mailing bombs to people. According to Kaczynski himself, the accounts of them culture experiments have been wildly overhyped. To this day he claims he's mentally sound. He even wrote an autobiography from prison, Truth vs. Lies, to dispel this idea that the CIA fried his brain. Edit. You'll realize he's still alive, right? You can just write a letter to him and ask him yourself. He responds to all mail. Never thought I'd want mail from the Unabomber. The oil and coal industries invested heavily in killing off nuclear power as an attractive alternative. These days we have reactor designs many times safer than other methods of generating power, and the waste issue is something that could be fixed with sufficient investment. Not even a matter of these days. Even taking into account disasters like Chernobyl, estimated around 4,000 premature deaths, and Fukushima, 600. Nuclear is incredibly safe compared to coal's 5,000 accidents per year. Nuclear kills 90 people per petawatt hour generated, whereas coal kills 100.000 people per petawatt hour, mainly because of lung problems worldwide. Even if we don't take into account the climate change contribution, most of those deaths are easily avoidable if we switch to nuclear. Edit. Here is the source of the deaths per energy unit claim. It's Forbes. Not the best, but it's what I found with a quick Google search. Also edit. A lot of people are telling me that Fukushima had 0 radiation related deaths, and that the numbers for Chernobyl are also debatable, but most people here claim the ones I posted as too high. I intentionally chose some of the highest estimates I found when googling just to be on the safe side of supporting nuclear energy, so that this comment couldn't be disregarded just by saying you estimated too few kills. Nuclear kills so many more. Even when choosing some of the highest numbers, those numbers pale against the deaths caused by fossil fuels. Edit 2. Thanks a lot for the silvers and gold. This really blew up. I'm used to seeing puns blow up, so I'm glad that I got gilded, silvered and upvoted for a serious issue. Speaks very well of Reddit's community. Thank you again, lads. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm only 16, so I hope you didn't cringe from the editing. I hope we can get to 50,000 subscribers because I wouldn't be here without all of you. So thank you so much for your time and energy, and please subscribe.